What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy D-Mari, aka D-Ron, so back with another video. So before I get into today's video, I do want to say that today is my 28th birthday. Yes, July 27th is my birthday today. I did not know what I really wanted to do on my birthday, but I did have family book that's supposed to be coming up here yesterday, but it didn't happen. But this weekend they are going to come up and celebrate my birthday. But I'm blessed. I am 28, and I'm about to be in the next couple of years, about to turn 30. Most people will say 30 years old is old, but it's really not. But that means that you're still young. But I'm blessed that I'm 28 years old, and I'm about to go into my early 30s in the next couple of years. So I'm blessed that I'm still here and doing what I love to do every week with you guys. And for all y'all those that did not know my birthday today, today is today. So, for you guys, if y'all want to donate, I will put my Cash App on the screen right here. If y'all do not know what my Cash App is, it's going to be on the screen. If y'all want to be free to donate, free money on my birthday, that's fine. And I can definitely put my link in the description box if y'all want to go donate. So, yeah, that's all I want to put out there. So, today, I am going to be checking out Chris Van Vliet once again interviewing AJ Styles about AJ Styles' final retirement in WWE. So that's what I'm finna do today. And before we get into all of that kind of stuff, if you haven't already yet, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on social media, turn on notifications, because I will be posting every single week. So any further ado, let's get straight into this.
So how's retirement treating you? Wow. It's funny because I think I'm gone a little bit more than I was when I was actually working.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but to get the chance to go down to the Performance Center and work with those men and women down there, it's pretty awesome. It scratches that itch, and being involved with Evolve is awesome. I've produced a couple matches, which I didn't think I'd enjoy, but I love it, and I've heard this is how it all starts, is that, you start producing, and the next thing you know, you get heavily involved with certain kind of things. But it's really cool to see working with the young talent and the light bulb going off, and like, oh wow. And I'm trying to give my moves away, like, hey, try this, try this, try this, try this. I'm not going to use it anymore, kind of thing. I'm having fun.
How long had you been thinking about hanging them up and retiring?
Well, I was going to retire before the Royal Rumble at WrestleMania, but I'd just come back from my foot injury. It just didn't seem right. Like, I was feeling kind of good, actually, once I got my foot back in order. I was like, man, and there was some kind of like, man, I don't know. And I'm sure money was a thing because I didn't ask for more money. I just wanted to extend it. But then again, they did right by me and paying me well. And so I know that was an issue. But then we finally got that in order, and I was like, all right, here we go. And I'm not saying I didn't get weird near the end of knowing I was going to retire or leave WWE. I got weird, dude.
In what way?
I just was questioning everything. Like, everything I was questioning. Like, a normal, sane AJ Styles would not question this. It would just be what it is. And even the moment where I found out Gunther was in the Royal Rumble, and I think that it had already been explained that he was in the Royal Rumble and that I got this match. But, I was like, what the freak? And I think I made Triple H feel awful about, oh, man, I didn't think about that. When the reality is, nobody thought about that. Nobody did. Nobody cared, even when Gunther came out at the Royal Rumble and got beat, In fact, it should have made more sense that he got beat because he was in the ring with AJ Styles. He got exhausted in that match. Of course he's not going to win the Royal Rumble. And so I just got...
Yeah, of course he wasn't going to win. Even when Gunther... Let me say this, man, because it's getting to the point where WWE just do not care about Gunther anymore. Like, if you were really going to do something with Gunther after he beat John Cena at last year's Saturday Night Main Event, and you guys remember, like, turning as this career killer that he was so on call was supposed to be, and just going to go and just retire wrestlers that's about to be like in their late 40s going into the beginning 50s, and you could have did something where you could have Gunther actually get a world title opportunity earlier this year, and that's something that WWE just never capitalized with Gunther. But people are just so uninterested of what Gunther even got going on. Like, if AJ would have beat Gunther in his final match, I was thinking about this too. like AJ could have had like a full year of matches that he wanted to go up against, but like before he hang up the boots. I mean, he could have had matches with CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, like anybody. He could have like fight everybody of who he wanted to face before he calls it a day. And I was hoping that AJ will get one last title win or last world title run before he leaves. Like that was my prediction. Well, I thought that was gonna happen. Like because at first I thought AJ was gonna like still continue to wrestle after he lost to Gunther, but that wasn't gonna happen. But he ended up retiring anyways, and I really wish that his retirement did not end so soon. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that he ended his retirement in WWE way too soon, and I feel like it could have went like the last 12 months, like the same way that John Cena did his retirement tour, which it lasted for like a year until like the end of last year. That's something that AJ should have done. Not to say that what AJ should have done with John Cena with the whole retirement thing, because John Cena was an up and down roller coaster at this point. Because nobody, in my opinion, John could have one of the best retirement runs last year, but all of them has failed. They failed. The only best part was John Cena turning heel. That was the only best part that I'm not gonna remember of. But everything else with him turning babyface and all of that stuff, I can't really put it into words, but you guys know what I mean. But I feel like his retirement could have been way more better. That's what I'm saying. But AJ could have had one more title reign before he hang up the boots and call it a day. That's all I'm saying.
Weird, man. So my apologies to everyone who I acted that way, and I was just in a weird state of mind.
When you say you're questioning things, are you questioning whether it was the right decision to retire?
Well, there was that going on. I mean, it's just it. This is what I do. Like, there were rumors of things. I never really talked to anybody from anywhere else. It was there. It's difficult because this is all I've ever known as far as, like, I've invested my life into this career. And I think the only way you get to this point where you've reached the heights is you have to be obsessed with it. And I was. And so I dedicated nothing else as far as work goes but to pro wrestling.
Sure.
So I didn't know anything. I can't fix anything. Like, I'm the worst. In fact, I end up breaking stuff. So it's just, when that's all you know and you don't know what else to do and what is life after, it's very confusing and emotional. It's a lot of different things that I really can't put my finger on, but I know you get weird.
So when we sat down a little over a year ago, you said you would not.
I know every wrestler who's been wrestling for 20 years, and wrestling is everything. For every wrestler means a lot to them, and it's very hard to get away from. Like, I get what AJ is coming from. You know, AJ's been doing this for over 20 years, and wrestling is something that you can't just like let it go. Like, the only things that you're gonna be loved doing, even when you was a kid, when you was a teen at the time, is just watch wrestling and just become a professional wrestler. And this is what everybody and every wrestler has put their lives into wrestling. Watching wrestling and being a wrestler. And sometimes it's very hard to stay away from. And it is hard, I can tell you that, to do other things after you retire. Same way John Cena retired. Same thing with AJ retired. Same thing with Goldberg retired. Same with Brock Lesnar. Even though Brock Lesnar, that was only just a moment for WrestleMania, but hopefully this weekend, he does end up retiring, which I don't really know about that. But, you know, wrestling has always been every dream for like anybody's dream, like of something that you've been doing for so long, and it's so hard to just stay away from. Like, spending time, like the best thing you could do is like after retiring is just spending time with yourself, and not only that, spending time with your kids, doing this, doing that. You know, there's things, you know, that you probably have never done, that you've been so busy with wrestling and trying to entertain everybody. But even Kevin Owens, for example, like Kevin has been gone for like a whole year, and he even said that he would rather be in a ring, in a wrestling ring, than being with his family. And I don't even blame him, because he's been out for like a whole year since like beginning of last year. So I don't know when Kevin is going to come back, but something needs to happen with WWE. Like Kevin Owens, somebody that we need back, because Kevin was the real one and actually could do some incredible things, which I don't know what the actual update on Kevin Owens is, but hopefully I get something. But like I said, people retire from wrestling. It's kind of hard. It's hard to stay away from, and I don't blame AJ for that. And it's gonna be hard to find something different that you probably just never done before, and that's kind of like a new challenge of somebody that been doing this for so long, and now it's time to just hang up the boots, call it a day. I want to retire wrestling the way I wanted to be retired, and just move on to other things that I wanted to achieve in life. I mean, that's sometimes what wrestlers do sometimes, and some wrestlers just want to stay where they are and want to keep going. But it's just time to just hang it up, and you're feeling just like weak and just feeling tired. It's like your body is just like telling you that it's just time to just hang it up and just call it a day how it is, man. So it's very hard for wrestlers to just stay away from that, especially when they're into their match or into their retirement the way it is. So, man, yeah, man, that's kind of hard to deal with.
Wrestling to your 50s. So you were already starting to think about retirement.
Yeah.
How did you know it was time to end? Because you don't look like you slowed down at all.
No.
Well, it's the thought.
No, AJ, the way how AJ's wrestling, he's wrestling like he's like in his 20s. Like, AJ did not miss a step at all anytime I see him in the ring. Like, the dude can still wrestling. Even though AJ's in his 50s, but the dude can still go in the ring. Somebody who is AJ's age should not be wrestling the way he is. Like, that's insane.
Of me not being able to be AJ Styles. To throw that 450 in against Gunther one last time to say, yeah, I can still do this. I just don't have to anymore. Right. You know, it was me saying, you know, all right, I am older, but I can still go. But that's not the reason to stay in it. You know, at some point you will embarrass yourself. If you stay in it long enough, you will embarrass yourself, because people will say, wow, that's not the AJ Styles I used to know. Man, that's really bad. And I preface this by saying a lot of people, well, he slowed down. You know, he did. He wasn't doing what he was doing in TNA. Wrong. I just actually learned psychology. You know, and I'm not saying I was a doofus in TNA, but when psychology comes into play, matches are a lot better when we're doing less. You know, so it's just, man, I'm thankful for the career I've had. And at that point, at 48 years old, I made the right decision.
Do you miss it?
Yeah, especially you've been doing this for so long, and people is going to start to really tell, like, that they can't wrestle the way they was when I first started seeing them inside the ring, when they first made their debut, and now, like 20 years later, they're still wrestling, and now I'm seeing them, and now they're not wrestling as well like they were back in the day. I mean, people can tell the difference of you being younger way back in the day, and now you're being much more older now. And people can just, like, tell the difference of what a wrestler can see. Like, you know, if they moving slow inside the ring during the match, they already know, like, you know, the time is already up. So people, I've been knowing that for years, of like how like a wrestler is, and then all of a sudden they still wrestling. Like Rey Mysterio is like in his like mid-50s, and he even still wrestling and did not even miss a step either. And people are thinking that, I don't even know how long, you know, if Rey Mysterio is gonna still keep doing this until his time is up. I mean, he's already been in the Hall of Fame, and Ray is still wrestling how he is, so I don't know when his time is going to come the way his time is going to be when he hangs up the boots and just, just call it a day. I mean, the guy's still in his 50s, but he's still going, and I don't even know how his body, Ray's body, is still keeping up, of like how the movement is like going the way it is, like even today. So I don't even know how he's still doing that, even at the age that Ray's in.
I don't miss falling down. I don't miss getting, hurt. I don't miss any of that, but you're always going to miss that part of the excitement that you're about to go to the ring and have a great match.
Yeah.
You're going to miss that. That's just the high you don't get from anything else. But again, I get to go down to the Performance Center and scratch that itch and just throw myself into helping these performers down at the PC get better. And, I'm sure we'll talk about this, and I get to pour into my son as well.
I think when you said that you were going to have your final match in 2026, nobody expected it to be in January of 2026. Why not push it to WrestleMania? Why not have your last match at WrestleMania this year?
That wasn't my pay-per-view or PLE. That's not where I started. For me to be able to debut and then end it at the Royal Rumble, and I don't care that it was in Saudi Arabia, it's still the Royal Rumble. That meant something to me. That was saying that, I know there's people who have WrestleMania as their big PLE, but mine was the Royal Rumble.
And it's like this perfect decade, right? 10 years, exactly.
Yep.
Royal Rumble to Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, it just seemed like it was made to be that way. Like, 10 years, like, I did it, probably wasn't supposed to go that long, but found a way to get there. I think it was a good ending.
How did you get to Gunther being your final opponent?
That wasn't up to me. It was up to the story. And he had retired Goldberg. He retired John Cena. Why not retire AJ Styles?
How much thought did you put into what that finish would look like? Because a month earlier, John Cena went out the same way, but John Cena tapped. You get the sleeper hold put on you, you pass out.
Yeah, but I think the whole thing with our match was that I made him tap out, but you weren't going to make me tap out kind of deal. And I didn't. It went out on my shield. And, I almost had the ropes, but there was the moment there that AJ Styles couldn't hold out any longer.
Couldn't hold out, so the only thing you do was just pass out.
Passes out.
Yeah, I just wish that AJ could have had his final run this year in 2026, just to have one more title run. But I can understand, where he's coming from. And speaking to the Royal Rumble, where he made his debut back in 2016, I can understand why he wants to retire the way he wanted to go out. But that's his choice. That's his choice of when AJ wanted to go out on his own terms, and I can respect that. But, yeah, man, AJ is definitely a legend, and I wish, his wrestling, career did not end short-lived, but at the same time it is, and I'm not going to take nothing away from AJ, because AJ, man, he's a real phenomenal wrestler. From back then until now, he still is going to be the phenomenal one. And AJ is the greatest wrestler in the wrestling industry, period. So, yeah, man, AJ deserves to get some type of flowers. He deserves to get his flowers for this. And, yeah, man, I really wish that he could have had one more WrestleMania moment. But sadly, we didn't get that. So I would have wished he could have had one more WrestleMania match. But he has to end his career the way he had, the way he wanted to end it. So, yeah, man, AJ definitely deserves all his flowers of what he's done in the professional wrestling, man. He deserves all the flowers that he receives. But, yeah, man, that's it for this video. Y'all let me know what your thoughts about AJ Styles' final retirement match with Gunther this year's Royal Rumble. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. Follow me on social medias down below. I'll be back with another video. Peace.
My moment to shine. This is my time of flight. I've been grinding forever just for this very night. I've been pushing for many moments like this. This time it's undervalued and no one ever could.